I'm not a good guy for the USA, and the way that I was treated doesn't matter what is on the line. This has to change. Every fight could be your last fight from the UFC. Everything is possible. Like you can't say I can't say yes, I can say no because it's possible. Every fight could be your last fight from the UFC since the beginning. Oh, definitely. I'm not a good guy for the USA anymore at all. So yeah, starting from not signing those contracts, you know, uh, saying no multiple times, and this is something that they don't like. But I have to like look up to myself, trying to do what is best for me. There's a lot of term in that contract that I would like to. I don't like them. You know, the the fact that it's a one-way contract. I have no guarantee. In the past 2 years, they claim to provide 3 fights for their fighter every year, but in the past 2 years, I fought twice. I could at least fight like 5 times, and knowing that I'm counting on that to make my living, that was kind of like I felt like I was freeze to get a financial pressure to maybe come to a agreement from what they are saying to need them. So that was something that I feel, and I don't want to get in this position anymore. I mean, if I want to give something to somebody, give me some guarantee in return. Like I can sign a contract that in I might not be able to fight in 1 year and have no explanation and can claim anything because at the end of the day, the contract says you are the judge, the jury, and the prosecution. I mean, like when I look in that contract in the past 2 years and over 2 years, I have like a lot of like contract study. Like at this point, I know that contract pretty good. Like been checking, think about stuff, go through, check, get lawyer advice, go through stuff, and I found nothing good for me in there. I found, but they still tell me that I'm an independent contractor. Independent contractor, maybe because that's the way that didn't doesn't guarantee me a monthly wage or didn't give me a health care or something. But I don't feel like independent contractor. I don't have that freedom, which is something very important for me as well. I mean, he might just be me being complicated, but there is just something that I can get along with. Some sort of treatment. Uh, in the past, like when I weren't fighting, like asking for fight, I get to beg for a fight, and the way that I was treated, I think that's get me like I don't want to deal with this type of situation anymore. Doesn't matter what is on the line. This has to change. You know, I need to feel somebody. I need to get in the contract that hold both of us accountable for something responsible. You have your own part of contract to fulfill as well. It's not. I didn't feel like it was a fair contract for me. At first, Dana was all Francis. Then after the Stipe fight, Dana became, I think, entire Francis. And I think when I lost the second time against Derek Lewis, which was uh, one of the reason, the first fight, the outcome of the first fight was even the reason why I lost the second fight. The transition to be the house guy, to be the guy that is accepted to be, and from that to be the other guy, which is like I don't know, like an enemy or something. I didn't know how to manage that, until I get to the point that I'm like, okay, screw that, you know. The reason why I get into this sport, it wasn't the sport that I was going to do even in the beginning, but the reason why I get here because it was fun. So whether I do it for fun or I don't do it anymore. If I started one to do it to please people, to please somebody or to please people, then that's not a good reason. And maybe that was why thing was going wrong for me. Then I'm like, screw that. Apparently he walks he walked out. I follow all those stuff. I'm aware of what's happening. You know, Jake Paul has his own way of communicating, which is a little different, maybe not the same as I will communicate, but meantime I can blame him for. I mean, I'm 100% with him for what he says. Like when he claimed for fighter healthcare, oh, I'm 100% down with that. He can claim for fighter pay increase. I'm 1,000% down for that. So the fighters are not protected. Fighters are all out there on their own, and nobody look up to them. You know, like I walk around the gym sometime, then you will see a fighter. Maybe he just lost a fight, uh, and then he's training, then get injury. He will take this injury, like just hope that he heals up because he can afford a treatment, knowing that he's doing this for a living. He has a contract and all those stuff. It's tough to watch those stuff, and to think that it's normal. No, it's not normal. You know, they're putting their body on line for something, at least a haircut. And I'm 1,000% down for that. Well, I even tweeted about that. Like I heard the guy was getting 20 million, and I checked his record. He was 0-1, and he was fighting for 2 million. Obviously, he has a big audience, but still, looking at his check, look at my check, and like, what's wrong here? What are we doing wrong? You know, something not right here. Yeah, no, that doesn't feel good at all. That doesn't feel good, and that's also a part of a problem. You know, the fighter pay is also a problem. You know, obviously, as I said again, they have a different audience. They have a good audience who can pay for the fight. But still, we could do better. Oh no. Oh, I mean, unless I don't know, some government or politics like really step into like, okay, some strong hand politician like, okay, let's regulate this. No, because there's the difference of power here is so big. Like fighter has no position, you know. Like most of the time, and I think most of the time, those guy will go out there to fight to pay their loan, like to pay debt because they have debt because they need to like borrow money uh, to subsidize their life, you know. So even though he knows that he's not getting pay enough, but he can pass that opportunity because he's he has a machete on his throat, you know. So he needs that. So how come he's gonna fight against the system? He can't fight against the system. He's just gonna take it. Just gonna sit on his pride and keep doing it. And the power will keep getting bigger in the other hand, and fighter will keep getting smaller in the other hand.